Hey guys, Pastor Tanner here, coming at you with another Logos video. In this one, a sleeper resource. Haven't done one of these in a little bit. For your information, a sleeper resource is one of those resources that you may not know about in Logos Bible software that I think offers outsized bang for your buck or value for the time that you consult it. In today's video, I want to highlight a resource from Biblical Studies Press. This is the NET or NET New English Translation Notes. This is a fantastic resource. It does a lot for you. Let me show you. Now, the first thing I want you to see about this resource is that you should be consulting the first edition in Logos Bible software, not the second edition. Why, you might ask? Isn't the second edition better? It's updated after all. Yes, but the second edition, as far as I understand, is only the notesless translation. And while that's very good, you really want the notes. That's the real bang for your buck, the value that I see in this resource. So absolutely consult the translation itself, but it's the notes that are essential, and that only comes in the first edition Logos Bible software, again, as far as I know. Now, in terms of translation, where does it land? Well, I think it's a little bit more literal than your NLT or your NIV, but I think it's a little bit less literal than your NASB or your ESV, so it kind of falls somewhere in the middle there. I like it as a translation to consult, especially alongside something that's a little bit more literal. But that's not the part of the resource that I'm really recommending. Here, I am recommending the notes themselves. They have notes for almost every single verse. There are a lot of notes in this thing, and I really like the notes that are offered because they are very unique. You see, the NET Bible translation notes are really like two resources in one. First, you have notes that are sort of like your standard study Bible. So think of your CSB study Bible or your ESV study Bible, etc. There are some notes in this study Bible that are very similar to those. For example, here in John 5, verses 16 and 17, it reads this: "Now because Jesus was doing these things on the Sabbath, the Jewish leaders began persecuting him. So he told them, 'My Father is working until now, and I too am working.'" In the notes, it explicitly says, note the plural phrase, "these things," which seems to indicate that Jesus healed on the Sabbath more than once, with a cross-reference to John 20:30. The Synoptic Gospels show this to be true. The incident in 5:1-15 has thus been chosen by the author as representative. This note is fantastic. It's the sort of thing you might find in an ESV study Bible. It has a cross-reference, and it talks about a few ideas in terms of understanding what's going on in the text, but it's a standard study note, and it's very helpful. These notes often contain historical background, or help you to understand the theological context, or they'll give you cross-references that you can look into. But not only that, this resource is also like a text and translation commentary. I've previously shown Philip Comfort's text and translation commentary in another sleeper resource. Well, this is similar. It's not quite as robust, but it doesn't need to be because it's highlighting the big hitters, not going into as much detail. For example, here a note at verse 17. It says this: "Most witnesses, P66, etc., have Iesus here, while generally better witnesses, P75, etc., lack the name. Although it is possible that Alexandrian scribes deleted the name due to proclivities to prune, this is not as likely as other witnesses adding it for clarification," and it goes on. This is a great text critical note. It's helping you to understand the manuscript evidence behind your actual Bible version that sits in front of you. This is so invaluable, and you usually won't find this kind of comment in a typical study Bible. Not only that, I love the translation notes that are included as well. If we look back at the verse, in verse 17, it says, "So he told them." Notice here, the notes say, well, in Greek, it actually says answered. That is a better translation of the original Greek word. But they chose this word because it flows a little bit more in English. This is so helpful. Usually you get a translation like the ESV, and the assumptions are being baked into the translation itself, and you usually don't have an explanation of what that original Greek word is more often pointing to. Now, you might be asking yourself, okay, then why is this a sleeper resource? Well, it's not so much the 2-for-1 aspect that I find valuable, although that is great. Instead, it's that I find the notes so valuable. When you actually dig into the notes themselves, they are unique. No comment feels off or like it was an unnecessary fluff that didn't need to be put in there. I can tell you this, when I'm reading other study Bibles, I often find notes that are superfluous. I'm reading through them and I'm like, okay, I kind of already knew that, or that doesn't give me too much additional information, etc. I rarely feel that way when I read the individual notes that are found here in the NET Study Bible notes. Instead, I find time and time again that these notes are offering unique comments and information that I can't find elsewhere. Let me put it to you this way. If you were reading the ESV Study Bible and you came to me and said, "Tanner, I'm considering getting the CSB Study Bible as well and read them in conjunction," what would you say? I would tell you, I don't know if you're going to get a lot of value there, because I think you're often going to find the notes in the CSB Study Bible to be very similar to the notes in the ESV Study Bible. However, if you were reading the ESV Study Bible or CSB Study Bible regularly, and you supplemented that reading with the NET study notes, I think you're going to get great bang for your buck there. It is because these notes are so different and offer a lot of information that isn't found in typical, even very good study Bibles, that I think this resource is a sleeper. All right, guys, that's it for me. Thank you for watching the Pastor Tanner YouTube channel. If you purchase resources on Logos, please consider utilizing my affiliate link down below. All you have to do is click it. It links your account to mine, and it gives me a small commission, which I very much appreciate. And also, please consider supporting us on Patreon. We appreciate your love and support so much. Take care. God bless. Bye.